The veil thins, the air grows crisp. Autumn's embrace deepens, leaves turning vibrant hues before surrendering to the embrace of winter. This is the time of Samhain, a sacred juncture when the boundaries between worlds blur and the spirits of the departed draw near. It is a time of mystery, magic, and profound spiritual significance. Samhain, pronounced Samhain, marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the dark half of the year. It is a time to honor the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, to remember those who have passed on, and to connect with the ancient wisdom of our ancestors. More than just a holiday, Samhain is a liminal space, a threshold where the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is at its thinnest. It is a time when the veil between the living and the dead is lifted, allowing for communication and connection with the otherworld. Join us as we delve into the origins, traditions, and enduring legacy of Samhain, exploring its ancient roots and discovering how we can connect with its magic in the present day. Samhain's origins lie deep in the mists of time, stretching back to the ancient Celtic people of Ireland, Britain, and Gaul. For these agrarian societies, Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, a time associated with death and darkness. The Celts divided the year into two halves, the light half beginning with Beltane, and the dark half beginning with Samhain. This division reflected the natural rhythms of the earth and the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Samhain was seen as a time of both celebration and reflection. It was a time to gather the last of the harvest, to feast on the bounty of the land, and to give thanks for the year's provisions. But it was also a time to remember the dead and to honor the ancestors who had passed into the otherworld. The Celts believed that on Samhain, the boundaries between the worlds of the living and the dead dissolved, allowing spirits to cross over more easily. This belief led to a variety of customs and traditions designed to honor the dead and to protect the living from any malevolent spirits that might be abroad. Many ancient Samhain customs reflected the belief in heightened spiritual activity. Bonfires, a central element of Samhain celebrations, served multiple purposes. They symbolized the sun and its waning light as winter approached, provided warmth and light in the encroaching darkness, and were believed to ward off evil spirits. People often leaped over bonfires for purification and good fortune. Livestock were sometimes driven between two bonfires to protect them from disease, a practice echoing the cleansing power attributed to fire. Divination rituals were also common during Samhain. As the veil between worlds thinned, it was believed to be an auspicious time to seek guidance from the otherworld, to divine the future, and to communicate with the dead. Costumes and disguises played a role in Samhain festivities, often with the intent to ward off malevolent spirits. People would wear masks or dress in animal skins, blurring their identities and confusing any harmful entities that might be lurking about. While Samhain's origins are ancient, its spirit endures in modern times. Today, this holiday is celebrated by many, including modern pagans, Wiccans, witches, and those who simply feel a connection to its ancient roots. While some traditional practices, like divination and bonfires, continue in adapted forms, modern Samhain celebrations often focus on remembrance, introspection, and honoring the cycles of life and death. Much like the Day of the Dead, this holiday remains a time to remember loved ones who have passed on. Families and individuals may create altars adorned with photos, mementos, and offerings to honor their ancestors and to welcome their presence into their homes. Storytelling, sharing memories, and preparing favorite foods of the departed are all ways to keep their memory alive. Section 5. Bridging the Veil, a ritual for ancestral connection. Samhain provides a potent opportunity to connect with your ancestors through a simple ritual. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Gather photos or objects that remind you of your loved ones who have passed on. Light a candle for each ancestor you wish to honor. As you light each candle, speak their name aloud and welcome their presence. Share stories, memories, or express your gratitude for their presence in your life. You can also write letters to your ancestors, expressing your thoughts and feelings. If you feel called, you can incorporate divination tools, like tarot cards or runes, to seek guidance or messages from the otherworld. Trust your intuition and be open to receiving whatever messages or insights emerge. Section 6. Honoring the Ancestors. Offerings and altars. Creating an ancestor altar is a beautiful way to honor your lineage and invite the presence of your ancestors into your home during Samhain. Choose a special place for your altar, such as a table, shelf, or mantle. Drape the altar with a cloth in autumnal colors, such as deep reds, oranges, or browns. Place photos of your ancestors on the altar, surrounding them with objects that hold special meaning for you and your family. Offerings can be placed on the altar to honor your ancestors. Traditional offerings include apples, pomegranates, nuts, corn, and wine, symbolizing the harvest and the cycle of life and death. You can also offer flowers, incense, crystals, or any other items that feel personally meaningful. Section 7. Divination and Dreams. Glimpses into the Otherworld. This holiday has long been associated with divination, a practice of seeking knowledge of the unknown or the future. The thinning of the veil between worlds during this time is believed to make it an ideal time to access higher wisdom and receive messages from the spirit realm. Various divination methods can be employed during Samhain, including tarot cards, runes, scrying, and pendulum work. You can use these tools to ask specific questions or simply remain open to receiving guidance and insight. Dreams are also believed to be particularly potent during Samhain. Keep a dream journal by your bed and record any vivid dreams or messages you receive upon waking. Pay attention to recurring symbols, themes, or emotions that arise in your dreams, as they may hold significant meaning or guidance from your ancestors. Section 8. The Feast of the Dead. Food and Festivities. Food has always played a central role in Samhain celebrations. The Feast of the Dead, a traditional element of Samhain, involved setting a place at the table for deceased loved ones, symbolically inviting them to partake in the meal. Seasonal foods feature prominently in Samhain feasts, including apples, pumpkins, squash, root vegetables, nuts, and grains. These foods represent the bounty of the harvest and the cycle of death and rebirth, as they are products of plants that die back in the winter, only to return again in the spring. Traditional dishes like soul cakes, a type of spiced bun, were often baked and shared with the intention of honoring the dead and providing sustenance for their journey to the otherworld. Modern Samhain feasts often incorporate these traditional foods along with other dishes enjoyed by the living, creating a shared experience that connects the realms of the living and the dead. Section 9. The Enduring Legacy of Samhain, a time for reflection. As the veil thins and the boundaries between worlds blur, Samhain invites us to embrace the mysteries of life, death, and the interconnectedness of all things. It is a time to honor our ancestors, to reflect on the past, and to connect with the ancient wisdom that flows through us. While the outward expressions of Samhain may have evolved over time, its essence remains unchanged. It is a time to acknowledge the cycles of nature, to confront our own mortality, and to find solace in the knowledge that death is not an end, but a transition to another realm. Whether we celebrate with elaborate rituals or quiet moments of reflection, Samhain offers us a profound opportunity to connect with the sacred, to honor the past, and to embrace the unknown with courage and open hearts. As the wheel of the year turns once more, let us carry the wisdom and magic of Samhain with us, remembering that life and death are but two sides of the same coin, forever intertwined in the grand tapestry of existence.